Hey guys, welcome to another episode of...
That's great.
Hey guys, so this is basically a video about WoW Legion. It's been out for a few weeks now. I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far, and this is basically my thoughts on it pretty much. Okay, so I was leveling as a Demon Hunter tank. I have leveled as a tank in the past. In Mr. Pandaria I leveled a Protection Paladin, and it was the worst experience of my life. It took so long, but they've seemed to revise the kind of classes. You know, they've made changes throughout all different specs, but what they've done is they've made it so that leveling as a tank, leveling as a healer isn't so fucking hard, because obviously what you really want to do is level as a DPS, but with the artifact weapon that now makes it a lot harder, because you can't just level up and then change your spec, because you would have wasted 10 levels worth of artifact power going into the wrong artifact. So you really need to level as the spec you want to be, which I think is a good thing, because it means that you learn your spec, especially if you have to be a tanking role or a healer role. You want to know your class inside out for endgame, not get to endgame and then learn your class inside out, because it interferes with other people in your groups, in your heroics, in your raids. So I think they've done the right thing. I am a fan of artifacts. I think it's a really cool idea. I do miss, you know, getting different weapons from bosses and stuff, but such is life. I think that, you know, the transmog obviously is there. If you want to change the appearance, you also got different colours and variations of the artifact weapon itself. All really cool. But the introduction of artifact power just gives the game that extra layer of something to do. Going on to the quests were fantastic. The storylines were very, very engrossing, but what I loved the most about this expansion with the quests was that you got to choose where you went to, because all of the new areas scaled with you. So I started in Azuna. I think my cousin did Azuna last, 108 to 110, you know, but the quests are all the same, but you can do it in whatever order you want. That also means that on release, you don't have loads of people all in one place, because they're spread across the whole expansion, so it's a really good idea. Staying with quests, once you get to endgame, you get a thing called world quests. Once you've done a few quests in Suramar, world quests are so much fun. They're a really good alternative to daily quests, and it's just overall a fantastic addition to the game in my opinion. Class halls is essentially like a refined garrison. Blizzard have openly admitted they made a mistake with garrisons. Go to your garrison, you shouldn't go out into the world, you shouldn't interact with other people, which is just completely against what an MMORPG is all about. So they fixed that. The class halls, you still get your kind of missions and things, but there's not as much, and it's often to progress with a class hall storyline or a class campaign, which are all very fun. And it all just seems like they've learned from their mistakes for once, and they're kind of fixing all the issues as they go along, which is really good. It's good to see from a player's perspective. I'm also very hopeful for the longevity of the game for a few reasons. First of all, dungeons there's actually a good point to dungeons, because you've got the normal mode, you've got the heroic mode, then you've got the mythic mode. Now I must admit, normal and heroic are rather easy, and then mythic is kind of like, yeah, fuck you, now you better be ready for this shit, and you're never ready, because mythics are a fuck ton harder than heroic and normal, and that's without the keystone mythic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like the Diablo rift system, which they're bringing to World of Warcraft, which I think is going to be really fun. It's going to add a few debuffs. So for example, if you're doing Eye of Ashara, for example, on Mythic 5 with a keystone, there may be a debuff, 2 debuffs that are like, okay, so your tank will not generate as much threat, which means it's harder to hold aggro, so the healer's going to have to work harder, the tank's going to have to work harder, the DPS is going to have to try not to die, and you're also going to have, like for example, extra NPCs in a pack. So rather than attacking a group of mobs and there's 3 of them, there's now 5 of them. So there's little difficulty boosts as well. So they're really trying to make the game hard again, which is good, because in recent years it's been simplified and simplified and made easier and easier and easier. We want a difficult experience again, which is what they're giving us. The second reason I'm hopeful for the longevity of this game is this reason. The first patch with WoW Legion is a 9-man mythic dungeon, a few world bosses, more things to do. The first patch in Warlords of Draenor was a fucking selfie stick. So that's the difference. More engaging PvE content, selfie stick, yeah? They have made it so much more engrossing, more things to do, which is why I'm very hopeful for the game, but they have to stick at it. They can't let it dry out, because they have revitalized a lot of the players. They have gained a lot of trust back for a lot of the players, not all of them, but for a lot of the players, because Warlords of Draenor, let's face it, wasn't a very good expansion. In the end, initially it was great, and it just fizzled out. Do not do this with Legion, because you've made a fantastic product so far, so please, please continue with that. So that is basically my last message, is Blizzard, don't fuck it up, because you've done a great job so far. Okay, so that's been my WoW Legion experience. When I start raiding and stuff, I'm going to bring you that content. I'm going to also bring some mythic dungeons and stuff. So that'd be cool, but yeah, I'm tanking this expansion, which I haven't done since Wrath of the Lich King, so I'm really looking forward to that. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, like the video and all that stuff. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, it's all at Dudey Rhino. You can follow Lozzie, it's at Dudey Rhino _HQ. Thank you. See you in the next one, bye bye for now.